if I die tomorrow, I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
It's Technical Tuesdays. It's the nerds around. We are back.
Hello.
It's your boy Sebastian.
Oh yeah. Law's not here. Tone's not here, and we got a whole new crew. Yay!
We got Law number 2.
That's
We
right.
got Tone number 2, and then we just have some guy sitting in his basement next to some boxes. No, we have Sean Luke, we have Charlie Williams, and George Medina joining us tonight in the house, and this randomness of goodness and of episodes. And wait, did Sean just drop?
Yeah, he's getting himself together.
There he goes.
Oh, there he
Getting
is.
together with the background. There he goes. We don't want the cross shot. Anyway, George, how you been?
Oh, living the life, man. Living the life. I've made some big life decisions the last couple of months. I'm very happy about, and yeah, man. I'm just chilling. I'm just chugging along, man.
Congratulations!
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Sean. Congratulations, bro.
We heard the good news.
Yes. So that's why I wasn't able to be there with you guys and Lou. Big shout out to Lu
It was
Cyph.
a legit excuse. Whatever.
Yeah, no, listen, and I didn't want to spoil it, so I couldn't say it on the air. And I know, what's his name, Mr. Tone is, is relentless when it comes to that. So but it was for a good reason. It was for a good reason. But I definitely do want to hang out, man, because I got to meet you guys in person. I mean, I know obviously Sebastian, I know you. Charlie, I haven't met you. Val, obviously, we've never actually met.
Oh, yeah, you missed that.
It was the first time I met Tone that weekend.
Really?
Yeah. And probably the second or third time I've seen Law. So, yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
And it was your first time meeting Charlie and Sean, too, because Charlie and Sean were out in full force.
Yes, they
Oh,
were.
yeah,
I had to defend my geeks because they try to call my nerds, excuse me. They try to call them my nerds cheaters. And I'm like, what? I almost fought these guys. I was very
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I just want to simply say that I don't know what you're speaking of. We have spoken nothing but truths this entire time.
So I didn't almost fight y'all. That's that. I mean, what was it? Where did I say that was a lie?
So this is what I remember.
Up you go.
Here you go.
Here's what I remember. And Sean, correct me if I'm right. We were there having a gentleman-like conversation with nerds, and
what's up, the gentleman about you guys?
It became very hostile to the point that I fainted. I collapsed. Because
wow, get excited. Okay. Oh my god.
The level of attack that was put on your boys, the G's for Geek, from the nerds is, what? I don't know if your audience knows this, but we would never had expected that you guys would be what's the word, Sean? What's the word? Violent?
Vicious.
Aggressive?
Winners.
Wow.
Winners. Winning.
Winners.
Wow.
Listen, it's the tiger blood in us. That's it.
Aggressive and what else?
And here's what I'll end this with, right? So, because Tone's not here to defend himself, I'm in Law's camp, because Team Law, but me, Sean, and his lovely girlfriend, who's also a part of our team, who was there that night, we had a discussion, and we were like, you know what? It was great meeting Val. We finally met her, but we realized who is the ringleader, and we think that Sebastian, Law, and Tone are the Beagle Boys. And Val is mom.
Wow.
That was the mutual consistency that we got. And
you just call Val Ma Beagle?
I mean, you guys were backing her. You guys were like, yeah, Ma, like you're right. And me and Sean was just like, this is not a gentleman-like conversation. This is take it.
Wow.
So what?
I think we remember it completely wrong, but
wow.
So what? To elaborate, George. So to give you the cliff notes, they just got upset because we beat their ass, and the last time that we had G is for Geeks versus the nerds, and it was the survey, and then someone's liver was on the line.
Wow.
And then they had the nerve to call my guys cheaters because they lost.
Damn.
And that's when I had to defend my guys.
So do we think that we need a rematch? Is that what we're saying?
Oh, that's gonna be a rematch. That's gonna be a fun rematch. We're gonna come out. It's gonna be pyrotechnics everywhere and everything. We're gonna have Sean's gonna make arroz con pollo. We're gonna have Charlie in the back doing the sermon. You're gonna have Law taking pictures. George, you're gonna be the host for that.
I do miss Charlie's sermons. I'm not even gonna front.
George, I agree with that. We need someone who is mutual, who can mediate. I was gonna say Val. I was gonna say Val can mediate, but after meeting her personality, I was like, oh my god, like
what is going on?
He's nothing like.
What is the bullshit that is being said by?
There we go. Thank you, Tone. Can you tell them how they just made me sound like the worst person ever?
Yo, the glass broke and Tone came in like Stone Cold Steve Austin's like, what's this bullshit going on?
Yeah, for real.
You see how Charlie just backed up like,
Charlie's voice went real soft, real quick. Charlie's like,
nah, listen, hold up, wait, okay, our voices ain't soft, okay? We only speak when need to be spoken, like when we whooped y'all butt.
That's right, geek all day.
Oh wow!
What did you whip our asses at?
Oh, what are we doing here? What is going on?
It's already on to a good start.
That are happening.
I'm mad.
They're flexing and they got nothing to back themselves up. I don't understand. How do you?
I like how it's like George between Sean and Charlie. He's like, oh shit. He's like, I didn't sign up for this.
He knows where the winning team is. That's why.
No.
He's looking for his backup.
Ankle weights. All right, you need to cut it out.
All right, you know what? I'm going to be fair and I'm going to offer an apology. Okay, this is long overdue.
Here we go.
To the Nerds of the Rounds audience and to George, I apologize to you guys. We never thought that we would come on this show and it'd be a spectacle as it is already. The show just started, and
spectacle.
And as you see, people are riled up. People are riled up, and Sean, is this what you expected when they said come on and shoot the shit? Like,
for the record, I didn't know I was gonna shoot the shit. Okay, until literally 5 seconds ago. Okay,
Sean, damn it, you're embarrassing us. You're embarrassing me, Sean.
We're gonna do something shitty right now.
Okay,
we're gonna do something very, very shitty right now.
No
announcements. You know what? I'm gonna keep our announcements simple and sweet because all of our stuff that we're doing you can see in the description. But because we have them on the show, definitely check out Sketchfed, Charlie and Sean Luke Acevedo over there. Check out their links and everything. Charlie and Sean Luke have something great that they do over there. Sketchfed. Charlie did some music videos. They have their show G is for Geek. George, you guys catch him on Catch the Craze. He is there with Sam Vera. They're tag teaming on their side of the internet, going out there for indies and everything. Catch the Craze. They're out there for the indies. But George, you got something brewing. You got something new coming up. George got a new YouTube. Let's go. Talk about it.
I do. I got a YouTube channel. I mean, I'm not launching anything until October because I'm just getting content ready because I don't want to be. I don't want to have nothing to post. There is nothing there now, but I am working on content. I'd love to have every one of you guys just talk about just your geekdom and what you guys love and are into. Sean can have some food on my show if you want. That'd be fantastic. And we'll have a good time, dude. Yeah, it's coming, man. It's coming. Sean, big shout out to you. Thank you for subscribing. You guys also, thank you for subscribing. I have nothing on there, but I'm trying to build the fan base so far. So it'll be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
It's a year to dropping content. I'm getting proud again. Engaged, new channel. You guys are killing it. You're killing it with the comics. You guys are killing it. Charlie is killing it with the last music. Actually, Charlie and Sean, you guys worked with Law on Guy's video too. The music video for Guy, which was pretty dope too. That was really beautiful shot. I love the scenes that you guys did where you had Guy in the mirror and then it's like him. You did the whole special effect, which is throws back to what you did, Charlie, with you and Red. Those conversations that you were doing with Red, your character that you created, which was pretty dope. Skits online and everything. If you got those links, drop them in the comments. So this way we'll drop them for people because that was pretty dope, bro. No one, if y'all guys haven't seen it, that was some really dope stuff that Charlie did right there too.
We're working. I'm consistently writing because getting into filmmaking is completely new. and it's not like sitting down at a digital pad and cramming it out. It's more logistics, more, is this ready to go? Is the characters flushed out? Can I pull people together to shoot something that will probably take 3 to 4 hours and be a 5-minute cut? So it's definitely a challenge, and I look forward to putting out like more short films from Sketchfed this year, along with Sean, May, and the rest of the team. Sean just launched his channel. Him and May just launched their channel, Twitch. So,
it's called the Goth and the Geek. Nice. And we did our first VOD last Saturday, involving Mario Kart in honor of the Mario movie. We wanted to do something simple for our first one, but our second one is going to be a little bit more interesting because we're going to be doing a retro wrestling game in honor of WrestleMania weekend.
Nice. You know what I'm still waiting for?
What?
What the fuck is this calendar?
Okay.
Wow, everybody got quiet.
Damn.
What am I missing? It was like a heavy sigh, breath over there.
We were supposed to get a calendar of Sean in every month, and people are going to take pictures of the cover in each month of Sean.
So I have a question for Sean. Sean, is May in the room with you right now?
No, I'm in my apartment.
All right, so let me get to the nitty gritty, right? Sean recently, Sean for about a year now has been booed up, right? So because he's been booed up, his boo doesn't want this calendar to go forward because she is possessive and she only wants to herself.
Wow, you are not gonna shit on my girlfriend right now.
And she doesn't understand. She doesn't understand. She doesn't understand.
Oh my God.
That she is doing the community a disservice. She's doing the community a disservice by not letting us put forward Sean. All right.
Nah, you are not gonna disrespect my girlfriend. Mind you, that is also our coworker.
So she's not on board with the calendar, and
we know he's not invited for Sunday dinner.
Pretty much,
there was nothing gratuitous about this calendar. It was Sean, clothed, and different cloth items. Clothed?
My underwear?
Who? First of all, that was for
me. What is going on?
That is for the what you're talking about are different months. Come on, relax, Sean. Once again,
listen, we were talking about February, me being in a freaking baby diaper. March, me wearing nothing but green underwear and a green top hat. Right? April was gonna be me just having flowers around my junk.
Wow.
First of all, I just want to say to everybody, once again, I apologize, George, and I apologize to the audience.
If I was Sean's girlfriend, I wouldn't allow that to happen either. What are you guys even planning? What is going on? Now that I know context, Charlie, you're not saying the story right. You're not saying the story right. If you're going to say the story, say it right.
It's been a running joke.
There's more context here, so I will give context. Sean behind Sketchfed is the face, and because he is the face behind Sketchfed, he has said during our tapings, he goes into diva mode that he says he is the face. So early on in G is for Geek, we decided that since Sean is the face, let's do something for charity. And
that's charity.
We was going to do a calendar, a cosplay calendar, right? Where we have different photographers. We get different photographers and different cosplay creators to dress Sean up. So everything that Sean just said, I don't know about that. But the game plan was to to put Sean forward. In order, no. That's the wrong word.
No. You got it right the first time.
No.
Which is why May is like, fuck that. It's not happening. Fuck you all.
I
I'm with May. I'm with May. Cheers,
I wish she was here to defend herself, but she's not. So toast.
She should just jump in the comments. That's it. That's all she needs to do.
I'm waiting to see if she's up.
But with that being said,
May, if you want to jump Charlie, I'm with you.
With that being said,
she is gonna watch this though.
She chooses violence. I love it. This.
I have to speak to the camera. Your audience, do you see what I'm talking about? The violence here, the aggressiveness,
it's called being New York and female. Get out of here, bro. Grow some subskin.
So, but once again, I apologize to the audience and I apologize to you, George. I apologize. This is I know this seems like a
You're good,
skit,
you're good.
and I know this seems
You're
like a
good.
skit. I know this seems like it's a run on, but this calendar thing was a big deal. It was a big deal. I had people signed up, photographers,
Damn.
cosplayers.
Wow.
Me and the nerds, we all talked about different cosplay ideas that Sean can do. There was even an episode that we introduced Sean bikini briefs. Or Sean's
I
option.
remember that.
I don't,
I remember that.
yeah,
Oh.
remember?
I do.
There was
I
a
do
whole
remember.
marketing ploy here, and
Yeah.
we were going to donate the money to different organizations.
Geeks?
Huh?
To G is for geek?
No, just different organizations.
To G.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
Charlie Radio Williams is a loving person. Like, I care about the geek community. I care about different communities. And if it means that I organize and exploit, I mean, take care of and highlight Sean Luke for all of his voluptuous, you know, he's very tight, he's very voluptuous.
Sean,
like a
if you're
tiger.
trying to talk, your
Oh,
mic is
easy.
not coming in.
Yo, Sean is like, what the
He's
fuck
trying to
is
say
happening
something.
right now?
It's like, who
I
are
can't.
you?
We can't hear you, Sean. But
I'm
he
gonna
had
take a
to
break.
take off his glasses. Like, am I hearing this correct? Like, I don't think he's coinciding with what you're speaking
He's
about.
not coincided. Okay.
Oh,
No, it was a running joke.
the hell is that late for, man? What
That
the
was no joke.
I have no idea.
No, that's no joke. We're gonna get this calendar.
Oh, shit. That's
Oh
great.
man, but
He's like, it's no joke.
Yeah,
what have you guys been
This
watching?
is real.
This is
Yeah.
real.
Sean already knows that I'm gonna be outside his window with a camera with Lionel Richie playing in the background. Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think
This
other
you
people
just said
that live
right.
here would appreciate that very much.
But Sean, quick question
Right.
for you, bro. Quick question. So, is any of what Charlie's saying true? Did this calendar not happen because you are Buddha? Is that true?
That is not true. This calendar did not happen because we had so many other projects going on that we just didn't get to it.
Gotcha.
Of course, a Buddha.
Charlie,
would say that.
Hugo
Of
has
course
a question
Buddha.
for you. Sounds very
That sounds-
self-serving. Was Charlie going to hang out onto the negatives of those photo shoots?
Yes, he was.
Negatives. You guys are using film?
No.
Wow.
Just sell them at
Why?
Comic-Con.
Wait, let me answer this because I feel like I'm being villainized here. Hugo,
Sean's like, using
why?
film? Wow.
We're going old school with this one, huh?
Why
Negatives?
would I hold on to photos? I mean,
That
come
is
on. For me to hold on to something that the general public might want and may pay anywhere from $7.99 to $39.99 on OnlyFans, why would I hold on to that? Why? And then every dollar
For
that
the
comes
record,
in,
no. Here's what he's saying.
hold on,
He's
hold
saying
on.
you'd hold on to the proofs. You'd give out the final products,
Wait,
but you'd hold on to the proofs.
But every dollar that comes in through OnlyFans and on Fansly, would go to charity.
Okay, for
Just
the record,
think
my
about the
girlfriend did
kids.
say that we are not doing an OnlyFans. That is out the question.
What about the kids?
as she should. What does the kids have to do with OnlyFans?
That's the charity. That's where the money's coming
First
from.
of all, let's not correlate. Let's not put those in the same boat.
It's a
all right?
multi-channel operation.
Let's not put those in the same boat. All right. All right. Like my role model, Oni Exile. Like my role model. It's more about funneling the funds from one. I mean, moving funds. I mean, creating funds, obtaining funds, and moving it into. You know, it's. I plead the fifth.
There you go. That sounds right.
There you go.
Wow.
It's beautiful. But anyway, what has everybody been watching? What has everybody been keeping up? Because there's just a lot of content that's out there. I am
Mandalorian.
dead.
And Bleach.
I saw John Wick 4 about 2 weeks ago before it came out.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you had,
Nice.
you had the early passes, right?
Yeah. Oh,
It's
love
good.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh, I was about to say, what does that mean? But I'm
Yeah,
glad you
I'm
added.
hoping-
Oh, it was good. It's amazing.
I'm hoping to see
I
it
don't know
soon.
what the ho means.
I finished the last season of Outlander with me wife, and we saw the Chris Rock special.
Oh,
Oof.
how did you feel about it?
I feel like he was justified in what he had to say. I mean, you can't be mad at the guy because I mean, you know,
I mean the
he's
Will
holding that
Smith
in.
stuff, or
Yeah,
a lot of what he said. I would say about half of that set is what we heard in the New York special. Like the
you
newest.
saw him live, Tone.
So the newest stuff, like his Will Smith, like him going at Will Smith, that was like really brand new. But you know, a lot with his daughter and all that stuff, and like a lot of that was very, a lot of that was kind of off of his set that he did when he was on the road with Kevin Hart.
So my only problem is I feel like this special would have been a half hour quicker if he stopped repeating himself.
But that's
He
Chris
always
Rock's
repeats
thing. He
himself.
always does that. Yeah.
That's Chris Rock's style. I think so. So me and my wife were talking about it. Was that Chris Rock's style was he's always repeating the line as he's kind of going in. However, the one thing he did do that he normally never does is he was kind of giving a kind of defending his opinion or a warning or saying like, I feel, you know, I'm not trying to be a certain way, or like, I felt like he was, instead of just giving the joke and going with his normal cadence, felt like he had to be like, had to cross some T's and dot some I's on making sure I'm not hating on anybody.
It's cancel. It's avoiding the cancel culture. That's what it is. It's
I think at this point, but Netflix doesn't give a shit.
Disclaimer.
Netflix doesn't give a shit. Netflix doesn't care, and
but he's not just Netflix, right?
Yeah,
he has his own name, his own title, his own thing, and that's more about the disclaimer. Especially, comedians in today's world can't be comedians. People are way too sensitive today.
Goddamn shame.
It's the shit that we used to laugh at when we were younger is not the shit we're gonna see today.
Yo, I say this all the time. You guys have seen Tropic Thunder, right? Like Tropic Thunder.
I watched it.
That cannot work in today's world.
I literally
come out today.
3 days ago.
Yeah.
3 days ago, I was watching it. I was watching the movie, and Ben Stiller has gone on record saying, "I'm going to defend this movie because of what we were trying to do, the joke we were trying to tell, what Robert Downey Jr. was doing, and like talking about Hollywood. Like the whole message of Tropic Thunder isn't like the whole blackface thing that some people try to throw and be like, this movie's trashed. It's not. That's not the whole point. It's a message on this deep dive of acting and method acting that this Australian actor would think that is what I'm gonna do to be so involved in the role that I'm gonna go through pigment surgery to be in character. Because
what I think what they did was too is that
I've never seen Tropic Thunder.
You've never seen Tropic
Thunder? You never seen it? Yo,
you have to see that movie. You have to. At least once.
Yes. From the beginning.
I've never really watched the whole movie.
Told me with McGuire's in it, the friar, when they're playing with each other's freaking rosary beads, like it's hysterical. Like the whole thing. You have to watch this movie. It's good. Mm-hmm. It's really good. But to your point, Tony, and even to Ben Stiller, what they did was they went so like to the different spectrums, right? So he played, the black character, but then when he took all that off, he was extremely white. He had the green eyes, the blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? Like so they went to the complete extremes. Yeah.
Well, but it's like that film was a great comedy, and it did have a lot of political commentary in it that flew a lot above people's head. Like the dude who was the rapper, but he's like, no, I'm actually a gay and all that, because it was tough to talk about being black and being gay, and they touched up in that movie. They touched up on like, when they were making fun of the fact like Forrest Gump, when I was like, well, I'm gonna play a better Forrest Gump. It's like, dude, you can't go too hard. You can't go full tar, dude. It was like, it just became a running joke. And it's like the movie was making fun of Hollywood stereotypes in the movie, and that's what flew over a lot of people's heads. It was like this movie was making fun of these stereotypes that are not just stereotypes on Hollywood, and it made fun of them all. And it was like it was amazing. And then Tom Cruise as the shitty agent that is sleazy
Tom
with
Cruise
the bald head.
As the producer is the best thing. Those are fake hands. He asked to get fake hands. Those are prosthetics that his hands are. That's why they're so huge.
Ridiculous.
Listen, half the stuff that came out in the early 2000s and in the 90s will not fly today, but it's dude.
For sure. American Pie wouldn't fly today.
Word.
Anything National Lampoon wouldn't fly today.
My dude, if you go to TV, Friends, some of the Friends jokes wouldn't fly today. That's how crazy it's gotten.
Early SNL, Kids in the Hall wouldn't fly today. Monty Python wouldn't fly today. Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy,
and Powerpuff.
As we've seen personally, the Def Comedy Jam, early Def Comedy Jam, none of it would have worked. None of it would have worked.
That's true, man. So true.
It like Pawn's right. It moves in cycles. Like it's really weird. It just moves in cycles and like what's appealing to people, what's not. And it's like I think like how like what you said, Tone. Like you noticed that because I didn't notice that, but I have noticed it with a lot of comedians who are like like they're going out there like they're giving a disclaimer before they get into the joke.
Well, some won't.
Yeah,
like,
some won't. Some just don't give a shit.
Chris Rock, I felt did it more than ever. He's never really done that before, and he doesn't really talk about
did
other.
It also in his most recent one.
No, Dave Chappelle didn't do it. Dave Chappelle doesn't.
Yeah, he's like, no, he starts off, I'm not homophobic, and he'll say things. He's like, this is my opinion, and I know I'm going to get shit about it. Like they all do some form of disclaimer. They may not do it in the sense. It's just, and he literally goes into the fact that cancel culture. He's not trying to get canceled. They bring it up. They talk about it. Dave Chappelle definitely talks about it. He did it in his last special.
Hugo brings up Andrew Dice Clay. He is the originator that got canceled by cancel culture back in the 80s, in the 90s.
Yeah. So here's my hot take on this, right? Because I don't condone the jokes on Jada. I don't. But I do believe in this.
That shit was funny.
And I'm not sure if you guys ever watched,
because G.I. Jane was a badass.
Yes. I'm not sure if you guys ever watched Cancel Court, but Cancel Court is a good perspective on the whole Will, Jada, and Chris Rock slap. The way I look at it is this man got slapped while doing his job at work.
Yeah.
And in any environment, if another person slapped another person at their job, that person would have been arrested. That person would have been, and that was the disappointment for me. Like I'm in Chris's corner only because in that moment, that night where there was a lot of people who were winning for the first time, Questlove. There's a lot of people who went under the radar because in that moment, Will Smith acted, and I don't feel like he did it to protect Jada. I feel like that was his ego, but that's my opinion, and I stick to that. I feel like that was his ego, and I think that
ego.
I think comedy is comedy. If you, it's
he
like
didn't
how
even say nothing crazy about her though.
I think, I mean,
when
I look at it,
like it wasn't funny.
it was a joke. But I think what happened in the case, and this is not defending Will, because I don't think that what he did was right in the professional mindset. Because again, you slap someone and he's doing his work. He's a comedian and everything that they're gonna pick, and he's gonna heckle everybody in the crowd. That's what they do. It just didn't look good for them, and it didn't. And what he did too didn't really help with Jada's brand because she has her own thing of haters that clamored onto that. We were not gonna get into that whole story about Jada. It was a really unprofessional, and then it's like him trying to clean up the situation that the way he did. I don't agree with how he has handled this whole situation, because it's like I feel, and this is just me, I feel like he should have really apologized to him day one, especially when he was starting to give the apologies, because like you said, Charlie, there were a lot of people that won that first time at that show. They were getting awards, but the thing is that what's overshadowed that award ceremony is the slap heard across the world. Because I remember someone texting like, "Yo,
that was crazy.
Will Smith just slapped the shit out of Chris Rock on TV." I'm like,
was it me?
Like, wait, what? Oh, no.
Because we watched the Oscars live, so like
First of all, the whole thing was, it wasn't just ego. It was embarrassment. It was he had something to prove. He has a chip on his shoulder with everything that was going on and everything that he's insecure in that relationship. Period. He wouldn't have something to prove on national television if he was secure in that relationship. And because of the whole what's the word she used?
Entanglement.
Entanglement. Thank you. That's what made him insecure, and that everybody knows that this woman's been playing you all along. You guys have an open relationship. It's not brand new. Like, what are we doing here? You mad because somebody talk about it? Everybody's talking about it. You're in the public eye. Get over it, bro. It is unacceptable for you to act that way. Granted, you're a person. Everybody.
Can we turn this into a little light situation?
Yeah. I was gonna say I love how we've gotten onto that, and I was like, you know what? Let's get more nerdy.
Oh no, I'm not leaving this. I'm gonna stay on this for a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
No.
I would love to rewatch that and do commentary as if it was MMA.
Ooh, no. Bring back celebrity boxing. Chris Rock versus Will Smith in the ring.
I think
Celebrity
the
boxing.
first one you had it best. Celebrity deathmatch.
Celebrity deathmatch. Oh, that would be good too.
Deathmatch would have been good.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like that whole situation was crazy, man. Like, and then also the fact that like my man won an academy. Like we all knew he was winning that night, but then he won an Academy Award. Was stood up there. Everyone stood up and applauded him, and then he goes on this ramble on of a bullshit speech, which he should have just apologized to Chris from the jump, and then we would have listened. And instead, what you do, you start quoting the Williams sister's father saying all this other stuff when his whole vibe has been non-violence.
Yeah.
And he even spoke out that like that's not how I would have handled the situation. And you did a whole movie about his whole thing. There's a whole scene in there where like he ain't reacting to how some of these dudes are treating his daughters. And then you go and do this because you're upset about your relationship with dude. I'm over, man.
It wasn't that he was upset. Okay, let's be clear.
Right,
he wasn't upset because he was laughing.
No, I'm not saying it was upset. The joke. It was she gave him the look, and then he was like, "I got to do something." When
it was some intriguing candidate joint, bro.
Wait. So I was going to say,
you know what it was? It was someone was trying to talk to him about his extended car warranty, and it just set him off.
I was going to say send Sean to the back, but Sean brought up the point that I was going to break. Whatever that joke in that moment was about G.I. Jane, I think Will is an ass because he was laughing like that joke slapped hard.
I know, that was terrible.
He was laughing like that joke set, and it wasn't
and now
until
she looking at him like, why you laughing at that shit? It's not that serious. Like you laughing way too hard on that shit.
Man, you got him in trouble with his wife. That's what it was.
She was like, you laughing? That's why we have an entanglement.
I mean, honestly, if it was something that he owed him the personal courtesy of pulling him to the side after the show or during some time, so like, listen, dude, I didn't think that was funny. Can you apologize to her or something like that? That was the professional thing to do. That was the professional thing to do.
No, hold on, time out. There's no reason for Chris Rock to apologize. There's no reason for him to feel away. It was a fucking joke. You sitting in front crowd.
He was doing his
job. You're the butt of the joke for the last few months because of the entanglement. Get over that bullshit.
Chris was doing his job, and that's why I feel like.
And also, like no one knew because apparently no one knew there was no public out because they talk about everything on the table talk, but she didn't talk about her alopecia. So if he didn't
excuse.
No, but if he didn't know, but like there's a difference between joking about folks and joking about a medical condition. I cannot sit here and say that Chris Rock would have joked about her being bald if he knew she had alopecia.
Yeah.
Like I can't sit here and think he would do that. I think he wouldn't. I think just the type of comedian that he is and that person is, like, I don't think he would do that. Like he hardly said, I didn't know she had that condition. But they don't talk about that. They talk about everything else.
Yeah, the thing that got me to that moment was people actually stood up and clapped when he got the award. They were like, yeah, standing ovation. And it was like crazy to me, bro. I was like, wait a minute, what was going on?
He did something that all these famous people wish they could do at one point or another.
Yeah, so but then Jimmy Kimmel this year locked it when he was like, this year we're not gonna have any of that. I have security. You guys just do what you did last year. Just do nothing, and we'll take care of everything. And it was like, yo, that was like, it's one of those jokes, and I was like, you know what I mean? Like that quiet little.
Don't do shit. Yeah, like
don't do shit. Exactly. Just sit there. Don't do anything. Don't worry about it.
Segueing back to geek stuff. Even that was its own cringe because when he said he had Spider-Man and they looked at Andrew Garfield as opposed to Tom Holland, everybody was hating.
Was Tom Holland there?
That was funny though.
I don't know if was Tom Holland there.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't know.
But Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire. I mean, they're rumored to be playing their Spider-Man again in the Into the Spider-Verse movie.
Oh, cool.
And with
Sony,
everything that Marvel, but other thing too is
Sony
with everything with Marvel's doing with variants right now, they're like, don't be surprised if you see them come back in some form of appearance in what they're doing with this whole thing. Like the rumors are that Deadpool is going to be being chased by the TVA.
That would be a good storyline. That'd be a good way to.
We're going to get a Wolverine variant that's locked up by the TVA. And just everything that's going on. I don't think a lot of people are ready for the Marvel variants because like people are like, oh, we're being superhero fatigue. I'm like, I don't think you are. I think what happened in this last year because of the pandemic and Bob Chapek, because now it's like Bob Iger, so it's the Bobs. Because Chapek, they're saying they're dialing back on a lot of content that was being pumped up into the Disney Plus app because JPAC was the guy in charge at the time, and they were just pumping up stuff from Star Wars and everything. So it
Which
was
I
just a
appreciate
lot of
very
stuff.
much.
I appreciate, yeah.
So,
Why
with that
stop?
being said, my apologies. My apologies.
For
With
what?
that being said, I have a question for the whole group. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel, and as I'm looking at the camera, do you feel that these Marvel, Star Wars, and all these movies are moving away from the casual fans and starting to only cater to the loyal and dedicated fans?
No.
No.
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't think they are. I think what's happening is that people are.
I think it's bringing more people who are casual to be more loyal.
Yeah. But I think like for some people, because they hold a lot of stuff, they're like, yeah, it's just too much stuff that's coming out because it's like every other week it was like something new and it's hard to catch up with stuff because it's just interconnected. There were just some things I feel like with like could have waited more in production, like the Book of Boba could have stayed in production a little longer to kind of flesh out that show more because I feel like they dropped the ball with that show. Andor was a really good show. I felt like there were just elements for me that didn't work, but there were a lot of before you shake your head, Val, there were a lot more elements for Andor that worked for me that really like with the show. When it comes down to Marvel, I felt like She-Hulk really dropped the ball with the season finale. That was like the worst episode throughout the whole series. I think that I know it was a big meta joke, but I feel like they dropped the ball with the meta joke with that. But as far as it goes, I was happy with She-Hulk, with a lot of it. I was happy with the cameo of Matt Murdock. They're just, I guess it's like what a lot of people were feeling is like, it was one thing after another, which I'm not complaining about, but there are people were. But like right now, they're trying to extend their slate to give more time for people to work on stuff. Because one of the things, what's her face, who was one of the co-heads of Marvel, who just got let go.
She was doing design. She was
Yeah.
digital arts. She wasn't. It wasn't like she was story. She was.
They
it
were
was
saying
just
that
how
it was.
looked.
They were saying it was two things. It was one is the she was working on a film with a competing studio that was Amazon. When they kept on telling her this, that they kept telling her at Disney, like, listen, you gotta stop this, your non-compete contract. And two, there are a lot of people that complain about the visual effects under her because they felt like it wasn't a really great working environment. But those are the rumors and everything that's coming out.
So I have a question, and this is kind of related in the same area of comic book movies and comic book shows. Thor: The Dark World, great movie, great work movie. Yeah, just want to put that out there since I'm on the show finally. Thor:
You
The
said
Dark
this
Can you
the
send
last
him to
time.
the back, please?
You said this the last
wait,
time.
no.
You were on
So
the
this is
fucking
actually
show.
so this is actually all right. So I just want to put it out there again because I think people don't realize how
And there
great of a
was awesome.
movie
Thank you, Pom.
Thor: The Dark
Sorry.
World. Okay,
Spoiler.
Are you talking about Thor 2?
Yes,
Are
he
you
is.
kidding me?
Send
Shut
him
your
to
ass
the
up.
back.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Is he really gonna sit here and defend Dark World? Are you kidding me? Did you watch that movie?
Wait, he's
are you
defending
serious?
Dark World? Wait.
Where have you been? Oh my god.
Anyway.
All right, I'm gonna answer Sean's question. I'm against the grain because I feel like a majority of you.
I think I agree with you.
Hold on, Tone. Let Tone finish.
Sorry.
So go Tone, George, and then Charlie will let you go.
So my take on this is that I feel like Star Wars not so much. I think Star Wars is doing a really great job of bringing in everyone to enjoy it and kind of what you're into. I think Mandalorian brought in a bunch of new fans. Boba Fett was kind of building off of that, even if we feel like the landing didn't stick. And I think Andor was also kind of bringing in people who liked Rogue One and liked people who like Rogue One and like these different characters, and you want to see something that isn't like super Skywalker related. So I think Star Wars is doing a really great job of bringing in new audiences and doing new types of genre pieces.
Okay.
Yes.
So for Marvel, I think with Marvel, for Marvel to be successful, to have this connected universe, you cannot keep, and I think they've done a better job of it than before in this phase 2 and phase 3. They can't spoon feed people stuff. Like if you want to have a 2.5 hour movie, you're using the shows and other movies as like your other side stories that intertwine into this main conflict. You're going to go into Secret Wars. We're going to go into Kang Dynasty. And if you haven't watched anything or you're just kind of coming into it, sure, the spectacle of it will be entertaining to you, but you watching it that first time next to the person who's watched everything, they're going to have a better experience watching it because they are building this medium for, I think, people who are watching everything. Does it mean, are you alienated? I don't think you're alienated. But I can't sit here and say we're past this casual fan. We are here for the folks that are sticking with Marvel. We're creating these crazy, intricate stories. We're using these deep cut characters, deep cut things that they're doing that the fans are gonna like, you know, and that's and they have the opportunity to do it, and they've got
Also,
the confidence to do it because people are watching it.
also,
Yeah.
I want to add to what you're saying, Tone, and then we're gonna go George, Val, and then Charlie. What Marvel did, and a lot of people probably don't notice that they added to Disney Plus was what's called Marvel Legends. So if you didn't see the whole first half with certain heroes, they've been releasing episodes, and then it gives you like a whole little small backstory for each of those individual characters to get to know who they are, and then it tells you what movies their stories played out, which I think was a really cool add-on for those who haven't been on the ride in the beginning. So you can kind of get the cliff notes of who that character is, and it's a callback to like the Marvel Legends card series, which was pretty cool. So Marvel Legends, for anybody to catch up, I think that was a great way to introduce for people to catch up to where we're at now. George, and then Val.
Yeah, so Sean, to answer your question, and I agree with you, Tone. I think that what happened with Marvel is that they're trying to toe line between, all right, we got to get some new people in here, some casuals, and we also have to keep the loyalists, right? We got to keep the people who know everything about these characters, and they're trying to toe that line. I think that they were going to use the Disney Plus for the true fans, right, to come in and kind of like get their fix, and then go into the movies and follow up. But I think what happened with that was the pandemic really screwed the whole schedule up. So movies needed to be jumbled, and they needed to scramble and be like, oh, we can't put this movie out now, but that's gonna mess up the continuity over here. F it, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it anyway because we already filmed it. We did all this, we did all that. We got to do it. And I think what happens is you're confusing now the casuals. So the casuals go to see, for example, Ant-Man, and they get all of these different Kang characters, and there's no context as to who these people are. So the casual now has to Google to see what the hell is the Kang and all this other stuff, and they're still confused because they've never read a book, they don't know what the hell's going on, and now they can't enjoy the movie because they're too busy wondering, wait, what did I miss? And how can you enjoy a movie when you feel like you missed the joke? You're not in on the joke anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that they have to find a way to fix that, because that was the beauty of Iron Man 1, right? Nobody knew who Iron Man was, and they managed to give a standalone story where you went in there, enjoyed it, and walked out. You loved, was Robert Downey Jr. and you were good to go. Same thing with, The Winter Soldier and all these other movies. They were standalone to a certain extent, but they had kind of like, if you watch the other movies, you can get it, but you didn't have to in order to get that. And that was the beauty of it. Nowadays, I think they're leaning too much towards trying to please us, and they're losing the casuals because they're towing the line, and they're missing. They're missing now. You know what I mean?
I will say, with the points you guys just made, I understand that perspective. However, I also think that the casuals who've grown along with Marvel over the last 10 plus years since they decided to be more hands-on in the MCU are more intent on learning more. There's newer casuals that probably won't catch on because they don't know what's going on. But what we consider casuals compared to those who've been doing this their whole lives are still just as much as engaged as they were when they first tried, right? And they'll continue to become more loyal. I think that there's a tie in between, and it makes sense where, okay, maybe someone doesn't know about the King Dynasty, or someone doesn't know about or understands the implications of the Loki series and what that opened up. But it isn't, they do provide the context behind it. And if you care to watch it, then that's something that you can figure out. You know what I mean? I think that, but the balance in what you guys are saying makes sense. But I also think it works in the other aspect as well, where it brings more casual people to be more invested and become regulars. I think that maybe the newer casuals will be a little bit more difficult until they get more context behind it. And that's just like anybody else getting into something new, though. with that said, can I switch gears a little bit and talk a little bit about what happened with Jonathan Majors this past week? First of all,
Ooh-wee.
So they
First
roll it
of
back?
all.
Did they roll it back? Because I know it was like he got arrested and it was a whole thing, and then the film came out, and then the accuser rolled it back, and now is he okay? Is everything
no.
the accuser recanted.
Much
TMZ.
respect to Jonathan Major's legal team.
Yeah.
They knew this was coming,
Mhm.
and they were like, nope, here's the visual evidence. Here's all the evidence you need. Here's everything. This is everything we're going to present at court.
It's not even that. They even like, we got witnesses.
Right.
They're like, we
Everything
got
I don't know
witnesses.
what's happened.
We got
All
the
I know,
driver.
I saw something that they posted. This dumb bitch played herself, whatever, and he was immediately considered guilty instead of really getting a shot to speak about his side, or whatever, right? And I said, if Marvel better not play themselves, you better not fuck yourself over, because he better stay as king. I don't give a shit if they can keep Ezra as fucking Flash. You could keep Jonathan Majors on that bullshit that she's claiming. I don't care. With that said, I know I saw an article that they fired him, but I don't know what's happened since then.
So
They
they pretty much did what the United States military did. They until, in the sense of you're innocent until proven guilty, they just put things on hold. He wasn't fired. They would just put things on hold. To kind of give a little bit context and backstory to it, TMZ, which I think is one of the worst networks when it comes to like information and how information gets put out, released an article or statement in pertaining to what happened with Jonathan Myers, which was false. Thank you. Which was false. As you guys are saying, like once footage came out, you found out that the person that he was involved with recanted their statement. There was witnesses. He was the one who actually made the 911 call, and even the police said the reason he was arrested is because in situations like this, which I kind of disagree with, in situations like this, even though the evidence was in his favor, the policy is still to detain him, which once again I disagree with that. But there's a lot of people who hopped on TikTok, who hopped on Instagram, who hopped on Twitter, who didn't know the full story and began to slander this man. And this isn't the first time we've seen this happen. This is something that is consistent, whether in the POC community, whether in our community, whether in the geek community, where it's very easy to say that, oh, this person who's been accused is guilty of something before the evidence comes out to say otherwise. And I think that it's just better for people to, when something leak, not give full attention to it until all of the details are released and put forward.
Yeah, it's become one of those things where like people want to, like, I don't want to get too much into like people who like, I go, you know what, you know that person's guilty after a bunch of people come out and say something. Like with it, in this case, you knew it was coming. He and his legal team was on it with getting the drivers to sign on and everything. But it's just, for me, it was just sad like how quick a lot of people just like, you know, whatever happened to the old model, innocent to proven guilty, because it was one thing and it just sucked. It's like you see people like, oh, now you gotta recast this, oh, we're never gonna watch another. It's like, dude, just put it back in the bottle, let it go. Like, you don't know, the full story's not out yet. This just was released. We don't know the context of what happened. And then as you start slowly hearing the story that happened, it was just like, okay, they were ready for it. And he was like, I mean, I could go back to one of the guys from Scandal who, you know, he did it.
Oh
He was
yeah,
caught
yeah,
choking
yeah,
his
yeah.
girlfriend, and they called him, the guy who was on. Oh, he really
Like,
got him. So like Shonda Rhimes wrote him off. Like, didn't even give him to do his death scene.
he three-pieced his girlfriend. Like,
I think
but you know, speaking of that cancer culture stuff, right? There was a director, I forgot his name, that as soon as this thing came out, wrote a whole diatribe about how Jonathan Majors was abusive on set, being direct, and all that stuff, right? So, like, I think the issue here, and I think this is just in general as a whole, because when you mentioned Ezra Miller, right, that's a whole other scenario that everybody's like, yo, why haven't you
better
canceled
crucify him then. I don't want to hear this shit. Why is he still getting his movie?
So apparently,
I don't give.
and I agree with you. I am not going to see that movie. I'm not going to see The Flash. That is not worth I am not paying money to see that movie.
He's gonna see it,
despite the fact that Michael Keaton is in it and all that stuff. I'm not giving
watch it.
DC.
I ain't even gonna lie.
I'm not giving Warner Brothers
I probably won't
money
pay for
to
it.
see
I probably won't pay for it, but I'm gonna watch it.
Sean's gonna be in his bathroom talking about, but Michael Keaton's in it. God damn it!
Michael Keaton is what's bringing me in.
Like, just
so
as long as nobody.
The issue is that because they spent so much money on this goddamn Flash movie, they're trying
they
their
spent so
damnedest.
much money on that damn Batgirl movie. Guess what? They got canceled. No.
Yeah, but the problem is they didn't even put a trailer out for that.
They gave
Batgirl
this
also
guy,
wasn't resetting and doing a new 52.
Yeah,
right.
And they also gave the movie to Tom Cruise to watch it so he can publicize everything for him. That's how much they're going to publicizing this movie.
So
they're really trying to push this movie.
I do have a question about the DCEU, and this is actually going to pertain to Marvel. Do you guys think that by the time the James Gunn universe releases, people are going to be, first of all, do you feel that the James Gunn DCEU it's just too late at this point? And two, do you think that by the time it releases, people are going to be leaving the comic book world of cinema because it just feels like it's too much? That's a two-part.
I don't think leaving is going to happen. The culture has grown way too far for that. However, I don't think people will care as much. It has to like really blow people away for them to find an interest again. And I don't honestly see that happening.
He has to really think outside the book at this point, because you got to think about it. A lot of people have already been burnt too much by Warner Brothers movies, and the fact is that there's still movies that are releasing before he even releases his first movie.
Yeah.
You still got Aquaman, who a lot of people have already said has not done well in test audiences. You have the Flash movie, which has not come out. Shazam did not do well in the box office, and now it's blowing up, where a lot of people now are blaming Dwayne Johnson for the fact of all his backroom politicking.
I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people blaming him.
And it's just so it's like James.
I have said this.
Like, how do you not want a cameo from your greatest villain in the comic? I mean, greatest hero in the comic. Right. Your rival, George. I should say. Sorry,
because I feel like Dwayne was like, I'm not towing up against Shazam. It's gonna be Superman or no one, and I'm.
No, it's not even that.
He wasn't even under contract.
So he blocked
the cameo. Rock.
Yeah,
the Rock got Henry back, and then he got him and Henry fired.
Yep.
Go sip on Terramana and do a Warhammer movie or something.
So there was talks that he blocked the appearance of the Justice Society, especially appearing in the Shazam movie. He blocked that. He didn't want Shazam to appear. He wanted to set up this whole big fight. He was going on about how Black Adam was the next big superhero, more powerful than any superhero you're ever gonna see. Like the way he was promoting it, it's like, dude,
Black
did you
Adam's
not
a superhero?
Exactly.
But we said this before that trashy movie came out.
before the movie about the life story of the Kool-Aid Man.
Out. Listen, and I've said this on air. I enjoy The Rock. I enjoy The Rock's movies. He puts asses in seats and he brings box office money.
I still watch it, yeah.
But this was not the role for him in his contractual obligations of not getting his ass kicked. If you're gonna be in a superhero movie, you're gonna get your ass kicked. That's the whole fucking point.
Right.
And you're gonna be and you're the bad guy. There's no anti-hero. There's none of this. You're the fucking bad guy to Shazam, and you get beat up by a bunch of kids who say a word and turn into adults. That's what's gonna happen.
Bro, how much fun was it to watch him get beat up as a wrestler? Like I think some of his best matches were him losing and getting his ass kicked. He was so good at it. So why not do it in the movie? Like, how much fun would that have been?
That's why the rundown was so great.
There's no point.
Wow, that's funny.
What was that about?
The rundown.
Wow.
I forgot my point. He said the rundown. I don't know. I lost it.
I lost it. No, it's
sorry.
I think after he did that movie, he was the villain in Doom, where it's like he got to hold the BFG, and then he was the villain in Doom, which didn't
was
do
also
well.
Trash.
Yeah, and then it's like
first person mode to fucking be like, oh, it's a video game.
Yeah, that can't. No, it's that whole thing of not losing in your contract, and it's like, so then what would you have done if it was going to come down to you versus Cavill? It's like you're going to ultimately have to lay down and lose to Superman because
Yeah.
he is the face of the DC universe.
It'll
It
be a
is not Black
stalemate.
Adam.
It'll be a stalemate.
It can't
That's what
even
he
be a
would have.
stalemate.
That's
No,
what
that's
he
what
would
he
have
would have
done.
wanted. Yeah, he
Yeah,
would have probably tried to make himself look, but
You
it's just
can't. Like,
you can't though.
That's
All right,
Exactly.
so
You can't.
I want to ask a deep question here.
Okay.
No,
Go
this is
deep.
actually a serious
Let's go
question.
deep.
no. I was laughing at Palm's
And
comment.
too deep.
What's your question?
Now, let's say if The Rock said as a POC that his justification for Black Adam winning over Superman is to get rid of the typical Hollywood stereotype
No.
of the Superman as far as race, would that be more acceptable
No.
than The Rock saying,
No,
hey,
I love. I'm
want-
not even. I'm sorry. I'm not even trying to cut you. I'm like, no. We're bringing in POC and like, listen. I'm here when you want to talk about something else that's not written canon in a comic book that people love and cherish and like want to see some of these things happen. I'm like, no, I don't like. If he wants to be that, then let him play a character that does that. Let him be someone.
I'm gonna give you a character. I'm gonna give you a character that he could have played, not Black Adam. If that's what he wanted, DC owns the rights to Milestone's Icon. Bring Icon to the screen. Icon is your equivalent of a Black Superman. It was Milestone Comics. These were all POC characters. That was like, it was like in the late 90s, early 2000s. Milestone Comics, which is owned by DC. DC owns them. These are characters like Static Shock.
Is Icon the fucking alien?
Icon is the alien, yeah, who is like the Superman of their universe.
You know, Icon was written to be a Republican, right?
I know that, but that was at the time in the early 90s.
No, but like
this
that's
is
the
the
whole thing. Clarence Thomas like looks at Icon as like he's an influence for the type of shit I'm trying to do. Icon is be like, you need to. I don't know, man. Like, fuck that.
Listen, at the end of the day, it's like you have Icon, you have Static Shock, you had the Boom Babies, you have a lot of those characters that were characters color.
So one, I'm still looking forward to Michael B. Jordan producing the Static Shock movie because that was announced.
Oh, that was announced? That's gonna be good.
It was?
Yeah, it was announced like a while ago during DC Fandom when they were talking about Milestone Comics and the history of Dwayne McDuffie.
Okay.
So there is a Black Superman, people.
Yeah. Wasn't Michael B. Jordan supposed to play him?
Yeah, but I don't think he's gonna play him now.
But he's gonna be a world too, though. He's not gonna be our canon Superman.
I mean, they could canonize him if the Flash movie does what it's supposed to do. Like realistically,
we are getting Spanish Supergirl, so maybe.
Right.
I don't know. I think
because
whatever the Rock's trying to do, I don't know.
The leaks from the Flash come out.
That's all that means.
Can we just go back to Marvel? DC is too depressing.
Well, that's the thing. DC is trying so hard because I did see Shazam too, right? DC was literally trying so hard. I got to see it for free.
That you should have got something back.
It's time.
Wow.
So you know what? Let me stop right there. I'm gonna put context to this, right? So I saw John Wick and I saw Shazam literally back to back. Did 2 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
John Wick 4 was so packed that we had to stand up in the back rows areas to watch the movie.
Damn.
Shazam. The whole time.
There you go.
Shazam.
Yeah, I know who Icon. I looked him up.
Nah, never mind. The Rock
Shazam 2. The theater was so empty. We were able to get the best seats in the freaking theater when we first walked in.
You didn't sneak in like a camcorder?
They didn't
Come on, Sean. Thought you better.
They haven't released at the same time, right?
No,
but it was a free show. But it was a free showing, though. You had a.
It was a pre-screening, like it was a screening of it
for Shazam.
For Shazam 2, they screened it on Wednesday before it came out Friday.
Got it.
And you didn't take a camcorder. Disappointed.
George, are you gonna see Shazam, George?
Probably not. I didn't see the first one, to be honest with you. I just have no interest in that character.
I'm gonna ask everybody then. Is everybody gonna go see Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes. You know what? I want to see that. I do want to see that.
I am seeing
I
that.
might.
All
I
the
might.
reviews
might.
are saying it's a fun movie, and that's kind of all I wanted it to be. And it's not going to be that shitty Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out all those years ago.
What, the one with Marlon Wayans?
I think so.
Yeah, Marlon Wayans was in
But see,
that one.
that's one of those things. And listen, I know very little about Dungeons and Dragons, right? And I'm the casual going to see this movie, and I do want to go see the movie, and I'm hoping that I don't need to do any kind of research to enjoy the movie.
You don't.
That's my whole point. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to go in there, enjoy this movie, and if they, do other things with it, I want to enjoy it so much that I want to go see that kind of stuff, and then look into maybe the background of what this is. Because I am the casual going to see this movie, and I think that to my point earlier, I think that's what's missing in Marvel nowadays is that side of it. Just a fun movie. Just go watch a fun movie. Just to enjoy it, not to do any kind of research to find out what it is. Go ahead, what were you saying?
Do research to watch a Marvel movie. It's a freaking superhero movie.
I mean, outside of King,
I get that.
I mean, outside of having to know who Kang was, I felt Ant-Man was a fun movie. Thor, Love and Thunder, they dropped the ball a lot with that one. And again, Doctor Strange was a fun movie for me because
nothing about Dark World.
I'm ready to cut
I'm like, I didn't say nothing.
I'll just go to Reddit. Can I talk about an underrated movie that I watched last night again?
Is it Thor: Dark World?
No. This movie is underrated, fun, and every time I watch it, I love it.
Okay,
and that is Detective Pikachu.
That's a good movie.
It is a very cute movie. Was enjoyable.
Listen. The Pikachu movie and the Sonic movie, like all these movies that they're good.
Yeah,
they're good.
Yeah,
Sonic
Pikachu
good.
was a lot of fun.
Like, Sonic 1 and 2 was good.
Yes,
so, I agree with 100%. You guys.
100%.
Sonic was good. Sonic 2 was good. Pikachu was good. The Mario movie's going to be great. Thor: Dark World.
Shut up.
I just want to say. I am going to be very prejudiced.
Right?
I'm going to be very prejudiced to the voice of Mario.
That's the thing, right? It's the Chris Pratt.
Prejudice. That's
true. But what if it's not as bad as we think when you
I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good.
Listen. As long as they don't call him Mario, we good.
No. It's going to be good. Illumination's really good with their animation. They've got a really great cast. I am here for the whole cast aside from whatever Chris Pratt's gonna do.
Right.
But like Jack Black as Bowser, I'm here for it.
Yes.
Seth Rogen as DK, I'm here for it. Fucking Charlie Day as Luigi. I was sold. I was like, I'm seeing this because I want to see Charlie Day.
So here's my question. Here's my question.
I want to see.
I just want to
freak out.
I just want to see actors. I don't give two shits about the actors.
I just think of Charlie Day freaking out and Always Sunny. That's all I'm gonna think of when I'm watching Luigi.
So real quick before you go, I just want to say when I was at Comic-Con, right, for and they were doing the Mario thing, right, and Jack Black came out and he did his impression of Bowser to the crowd. I was completely sold on it. Right? He embodies that character of Bowser. Everybody that's playing the role, even Michael Key, playing Toad.
Yeah.
Right? Like he playing that, like everybody's playing their role except Chris Pratt, who's literally playing Chris Pratt's voice.
So wait,
listen,
I have a question.
There is no fake Italian accent.
I have a question. Sean, so you're saying to us you are looking forward to this movie. Question 1.
Well, yeah, duh.
All right. Question 2.
I'm a huge Mario fan.
Wait, question 2. All right. So you're gonna go see this movie, right?
Of course.
Question 3. If Chris Pratt does an amazing job, are you willing to admit that he did an amazing job?
I am willing to admit that. Yes.
So what you're saying is,
but
if
you
Chris
have
Pratt...
to go in there without the preconceptions. So if you already anticipate for it to be trash, you're going.
Hold on. Wait. Here's my official preconception.
So if you're saying,
wait, Charles, hold on. Let me answer this real quick. My official preconception right now is that it's still going to be better than Anthony Hopkins as Mario.
Okay.
And I love Anthony Hopkins as an actor.
What you're saying on this episode...
I don't think it was Anthony Hopkins.
I think it was the whole movie because Anthony Hopkins was tired of the directors. He wanted to throw the directors out the window because it was all the directors who, at the time with that movie... Everybody knows about how bad that movie was, right?
Oh, that movie was that has
Bob
its own
Hoskins.
documentary.
So
Yeah, Bob
Bob
Hoskins.
Hoskins. Thank
Bob
you.
Hoskins. I'm like Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah,
Like,
he was
Anthony
Bob
Hopkins.
Hoskins.
Silence of the Lambs. I'm like, what is going on right now?
My
Was not
bad.
Mario.
My bad.
I'm gonna
Sean,
Hashtag not my Mario.
and then
I
he
had to
did-
look it up because I was like, wait, that
and then-
doesn't sound
and
right.
then-
What's your
and then he
name?
kisses the
Mario.
sky, and I'm
Mario.
like,
Wait.
Anthony Hopkins
To here
didn't
to give you
die.
his view
Mario,
on Chris
Luigi
Pratt's
Mario.
Mario. Here we go. Giving your view on Chris Pratt's Mario.
oh wow.
Oh shit!
Oh my! Hey, Pong, how are
I
you?
wasn't.
Hey, Bob.
I was fine. I'm sitting here minding my own business. I'm enjoying the conversation, and Sebastian, to his credit, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, you want to come on?" And I was like, "No. I got to get these projects done. I got my own problems. I got my own problems."
Okay.
But then,
Then you said Chris Pratt's going to be
Pratt.
amazing.
Chris Pratt.
Oh, Chris.
Isn't it good? Isn't it great? Isn't it great?
Why do they have to make it Chris Pratt? I know, and you know, I almost considered not coming back on because the sexiest man alive, Jean-Luc, already said that the situation, pretty much encapsulated that Chris Pratt is going to be playing Chris Pratt. Let me tell you how bad this is. Okay, it's making me like Jack Black.
Wow.
I've hated Jack Black since the 90s. School of Rock was like I don't even think that was the 90s, but School of Rock was like one of the most pompous pieces of shit I've ever seen. Not since Jefferson's Starship did anyone claim false valor like that. Okay. But for me to turn around and suddenly like Jack Black,
Jumanji kind of
hurts.
sold it for me.
It tastes like ash in my mouth.
It hurts.
I mean,
Wow.
that's very fitting considering he's playing Bowser.
Wait, George, jump in.
Yo, Pong, you didn't like him in Tropic Thunder? No.
No, I hated that.
No.
I hated
School of Rock?
He was the worst part. He was the worst part of Tropic Thunder. Now, I'll tell you what, man.
Wait, he was the guy who played the wannabe
The
Eddie
addict.
Murphy, where he did the what was it? No, the fatties.
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
fatties,
yeah,
yeah,
he's
there's nothing
the
but fart
addict.
jokes.
He's
Yeah.
hooked,
Yeah.
he's hooked on
All right.
on
So
heroin.
I think
Yes.
I have a fair compromise here, right? And I think this would make everybody happy. This goes back to my question, Sean Luke. If Chris Pratt does a great job, right? You're willing to admit that he did a great job.
Yes,
Correct. And if he does a bad job, you're definitely going to come on air and say he did a bad job.
of course.
So here's what I just heard, right? And I just want all of the audience of nerds to understand this and anybody who's listening. What Sean just said was, if Chris Pratt does a great job, he will dress as Princess Peach for the calendar. And if he does
look, I'm out of Kleenexes, okay? Come on, calm down.
If he
Calm
does,
down.
How
if
is that the
if Chris Pratt
correlation?
does a good job, he
Look,
will dress
rock
as
hard
Princess
right now.
Peach for the calendar. And if Chris Pratt does a bad job, he will dress as the female Yoshi for the calendar.
Wow.
I think
Birdo?
that
Wait,
is
hold
fair.
up. There's
That
a
is fair.
female
All right, send them
Yoshi.
to the back. Send them to the back. Send them to the
I'll
back.
be in my bunk. I
Birdo.
gotta-
The Birdo's not a Yoshi.
We're putting him on timeout right now. Pong needs more Kleenex for this one.
I'll be in my bunk.
Oh shit.
How you gonna
Firefly
send me to the
reference there
back?
for you.
Come on.
I don't
I
know,
think
man.
that's
I
fair
just-
for everybody.
That is
That's
not fair
For everybody.
It
For
just
everybody.
feels that Chris is just going to do what Chris does, which is play himself as Mario. When I was good with the star-studded cast for everybody but Mario, because there is literally a voice actor who's been the voice of Mario for
Charles
decades.
Marionette, who
He
I have
actually
met
plays Mario's
multiple
dad.
times.
He actually plays
Does he?
Mario's dad in the movie. I'm looking at the IMDb cast.
Oh, really?
Oh, so
He
they,
plays
gave him-
Mario's
they,
dad?
threw, they threw him a bone?
Charles Martinet, right?
You mean the freaking that 5-second cameo he's gonna have before he spends the rest of the movie in the Mushroom Kingdom?
He's passing the torch. He is passing the
Possibly.
torch to Chris Pratt. That's what's happening here.
Can you
If they
imagine?
pass the
So
torch, Chris
this
Pratt
is-
isn't going to voice him in the fucking
So,
video
so
game.
I want to ask all you guys. Can you
Right.
imagine? Yeah, the video games. Like, what are we gonna now get Chris Pratt voice in the video games?
No.
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 Could you imagine
No.
that?
No,
He's
I
not gonna
can't
do
because it won't
He didn't even do Guardians of the Galaxy. He's definitely not gonna do this.
Right.
And also, by the way,
Yeah, if he didn't
you
even
guys-
voice Star Lord, there's no way he's
Yeah.
voicing Mario. I'd be pissed.
You
By the
guys
way-
don't know talent when you see it.
we said throw him a bone, and no one mentioned like Jaden's friend. No one said.
Hey, you guys just don't know talent.
Okay,
Chris
no
Pratt is
way.
a very talented artist, actor.
There we go. Sebastian.
You guys don't know talent. I listen
This
to your
is coming from the
commentaries.
man who loves Thor to the Dark World.
You know, I'm glad you brought it up because Thor, the Dark
You
World,
don't have any
the Dark
taste,
World
is what
a
you're
great
telling
movie.
me, Charlie.
Right
You have
now.
no taste. You have no taste.
Wait, we
Oh,
agreed
man.
that
George is like, I
Detective
came on to talk
Pikachu's-
nerdy shit. I'm like, what the
No, this is great. I love this. This is what it's all about, right?
We agreed that there's a lot of show. Mandalorian, we all agree, great show, right? We all
Great show.
agree that
Are we gonna talk about
Pedro
that at
Pascal.
all?
Pedro Pascal is holding
I
Star
do-
Wars on his
alright.
back.
We all agree that the MCU as well as the
Listen.
MC streaming universe, great, right? So
We-
why can't we just come to a consensus and say that Chris Pratt is God, one, and that Thor: The Dark World is one of the best
Jesus.
movies. Second to that,
Shut
of Daredevil.
up.
So thank you.
Anyway.
So see,
Anyway,
where are
we
you?
will not speak that
feeling?
blasphemy
To
here.
your point, right? To talk about Mandalorian, right? And to
Oh,
round
Thank
back
you.
to what I was asking about earlier.
Thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Okay,
Sean.
go
Let's
ahead.
reel it back in.
So with the Mandalorian, there's reports that this is the lowest rated season so far of the Mandalorian.
I have seen
a
that.
lot of people,
Yeah.
a lot of people are not watching it because they feel like they're being disconnected from the show.
Really?
Yes. So
Well, maybe
wait.
if they watch it, they'll be able to see that it's
no.
not
The
disconnected
issue was
somewhere.
here's the issue. The issue was that for those that did not watch the Book of Boba Fett and just
Mhm.
literally only watched the Mandalorian, you went from
Mhm.
season 2 to
With no
season
Grogu.
3 with no resolution as to what happened because he left Grogu and now all of a sudden he's back with Grogu
Wait.
with
Oh, so
no
you need to go to
explanation.
Boba.
I-
Yeah,
And
yeah,
a,
yeah.
and a
The Book of
brand new
Boba-
ship.
I thought
Right.
the Book of Boba
Yeah,
was
because he got his-
Mandalorian
yeah.
season 1.2.
No,
Yeah.
but we've all said that. We
2.5.
said it's,
Yeah,
Mandal-
yeah.
it's Mandalorian
We all said it.
2.5.
All of
So
us,
a
everybody
lot
on
of
this
people-
panel said it.
A lot of viewers are being turned off by that and the fact that okay, and this is the part I disagree with, right?
Mhm.
It's called the Mandalorian, which people assume mean it's about Din Djarin, right?
Mhm.
So when they're talking about all these other Mandalorians and now shifting it, so to speak, towards Bo-Katan Kryze, which I personally love because I've loved her arc all the way
Mhm.
back into the Clone Wars,
Yes.
right? Like people are being turned off. Like, no, I want to see what Din Djarin is doing. I want to see what
They don't even know what they're talking about it if you're not watching it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Look,
So-
look,
But that's
you
the
just said
thing,
it.
Okay, but
these
that was
are
the
all-
point we made
yeah, it's all
earlier
random.
about that's the point that we made earlier about like this whole hardcore fans and fans of only specific pieces. And
Right.
like that's a big red flag there. Like all the other ones we're talking about with Marvel and Kang and like
Yeah.
like you can get away with that, but season 2 is such a ends so well and it has such a great ending with Luke coming back, taking Grogu and Din showing his face and kind of going through this to then your third season he's already back and it's all resolved and we don't know what happened. It's disrespectful to the folks that are watching the show. There is like you can't we can
Watch
talk
Boba
about it.
Fett. I mean,
Okay,
I
but-
don't understand.
But your whole point, but you also were disagreeing in the fact that Marvel isn't catering to the whole whole line.
Can I jump
so
back on
But
that
watch,
Marvel?
I'm confused. But watch Boba. I don't. What's the
Yeah.
problem here? Like, I
Maybe
don't.
That's
people
right.
don't-
So here's
Hold
the
on,
thing.
go
like,
ahead, Mighty.
when you say that people are getting confused because they have to watch this other show and all that stuff, I don't feel like that argument holds water, and here's why. If you are a fan of the show enough to
watch
be
anything
a
Mando's
fan of the
in.
show, you're gonna watch. Yeah, like oh man, during the pandemic, oh there's a new Marvel series every week. Oh no. Yes, give it to
Exactly.
me, right? But here's the thing: if you're not that person, right, then it's fine because you're just there to watch a Star Wars people do Star Wars things, or you're there to watch an Ant-Man do an Ant-Man thing, or you're there for the spectacle. Same reason I play slot machines here in Vegas. I'm not gonna win. But what I am going to do is get lights flashing at me, and it's going to go doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and that's what I want, right? And that's what the Ant-Man movie is to those people. I'm sorry, go ahead, George.
So, no, I was going to say,
George, or whoever.
I think what I was going to say real quick was, I mean, listen, I get it. If you're watching Star Wars stuff, you're probably a Star Wars fanatic, right? You probably like that kind of stuff, and so you're gonna gobble up everything that's Star Wars. I get that. But what if you're not? What if you really just can't stand Star Wars anymore, and you just came back from Mandalorian, right? Yeah.
But then you won't watch it. That's just it.
No,
I
no, no,
don't
no, no, no,
understand
no,
that.
no, no. What I'm saying is, you came back like, you know what? I like this Mando thing, man. I like this. I kind of like this stuff. All right, cool. But I'm only gonna watch Mandalorian. That's all I'm gonna watch because I'm just that stubborn, and I hate Star Wars.
Okay.
But I want to watch the Mandalorian. So here I am. I watched season 1. I watched season 2. Season 2 is fantastic because again, Luke Skywalker came out, and I'm a fan of the 70s, Star Wars. And then season 3 opens up, and like you guys pointed out, Tone and Sean, how did he come back?
Yeah, I
Here's
mean,
my thing though.
Something should have been said.
Here's my thing though, right? If you were a fan of the Mandalorian show, Mandalorian guests and Boba. So you watch at least the episodes Mando is in.
How do I know that?
You enjoy the Mandalorian.
But how do you
not know?
Because I only like Mando. I don't like Boba Fett.
Here's a perfect example to deconstruct what you're saying, right? Very few people I know that did watch The Mandalorian did not watch the other Star Wars related shows like Andor, like Book of Boba Fett.
Doing yourself a disservice.
It's not because you're a fan, so you understand the whole thing. But casual people, especially I hate to say it like this, older casual fans are not going to sit there, right, and be like, "Oh, I'm here to watch the Baby Yoda show." Right, and then watch anything else around that.
It was so.
But Baby Yoda is in Boba.
No, but Grogu is such a cultural phenomenon to do what you did. Yes, Pong.
Really?
Yes, Grogu's fucking everywhere, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like they wanted him to be, but he's not.
Grogu is like Bumblebee.
Exactly.
Right
Listen,
Grogu is everywhere. No one can know what the Mandalorian is, but you know what they do know.
They don't know his name though. It's Baby Yoda.
It's a Baby Yoda. That's fine. It's Baby Yoda. It's Baby Yoda. But everyone knows Baby Yoda.
Can I bring a perspective? Can I bring a perspective that, and I think this ties into both the Marvel and Star Wars universe. I think what's happening, because the conversation is casual versus I guess the newcomer, right? I think Disney's doing something that is unique, that they don't understand that they're doing it, and they're not doing it in a way that would be more beneficial in understanding. I think we are in an era that we are seeing comic books as comic books played out on screen. Now, when I mean this is when we go to a comic book store and we buy comics, right? We start with Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, and there's a cameo. And in that book, it may say, if you want more of this story, go here.
Absolutely.
And as fans, we're used to that setup. But if you never grew up reading comics in that light, then I can see the argument of, wait, what's happening over here? And why do I have to go here? Now, for us comic fans, we're gravitating to it and we're picking up on it without it having to be explained to us. Because once again, us growing up reading comics or being introduced to comics or understanding comics, understood Age of Apocalypse. I love that series. That series is broken off into different series to tell. But that's the MCU right now. The MCU is exactly that. And you can kind of see it. And you can kind of see it actually happening in another way. So with phase 4, with the new phases, right, which is kind of like a slow burn, it's a revamp of a comic book series.
I'm gonna tell you. No, I'm sorry, Charlie. I'm gonna tell you why they messed up with Mandalorian and Book of Boba, because I get what your argument. No, they messed up with this one thing because it's the story pacing. So what happened in the Book of Boba for the match to further the Mandalorian story should have been handled in the Mandalorian series, because you don't get that in a lot of comics. Like, if he was going to do a guest appearance, you should have left it as a guest appearance. But like stuff of getting the new speeder, getting to reunite with Grogu, that's something you save for the main storyline, the main book. You don't put it in the guest appearance, because those who are not, like, it's like this. Let's say you want to watch Spider-Man story, right?
Accurate.
Wait. Let's say I disagree. Wait. Before you could, let's say you're following Spider-Man. You're an avid follower of Spider-Man. You're collecting Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, 4, but all of a sudden you get to issue 5 and you're like, what the fuck happened? Then you got to find out that, wait, they explained this, what happened to Spider-Man in this really shitty comic that I don't collect, which there was a lot of that in the 90s, which caused that really crazy
But
shit in the
here's the
comic.
thing: it
But
caused
it's
you to
like,
buy that shitty comic and read it because you knew you was a fan of
I'm
Spider-Man.
gonna, no,
I
I'm gonna give
don't
you.
understand what
I'm
the
gonna
issue
give
is
you.
here.
I'm gonna give you an
good
example of how
I-
how it didn't work for the comic industry. When you look at
It
extreme,
totally
wait,
fucking works. I
no,
pay
it
for
did.
all of it.
It didn't, because when you look
What
at
are
it,
you saying right now?
when you look at Extreme Comics back in Image, when Image was the rock star of comics,
Oh
they did that
God,
with Extreme Comics, and what happened? Extreme
we're
Comics
talking. You're talking about
imploded.
Image Comics.
I know.
Are you seriously? Come on,
But
bro.
also
Come on,
too,
bro.
at the time, how many comics got canceled from Marvel because they weren't doing so well, and they were trying to, like, we're gonna put Wolverine in X, Y, and Z amount of
And
books
people
because
loved
Wolverine,
Wolverine, and guess what they did?
and
Bought
that's what
it.
they did.
The
They
same thing with
Can I give a
oversold
counter
the hell
Spider-Man.
of it.
Can I give a
So
counter
here's
argument
the
to that?
other
Here's-
the other issue with that. Following up what Sebastian said, right?
I thought Mando's opinion was going to.
George,
So
back me up here.
not
I need
only
help.
did you put
I
a
am.
guest
I'm looking
character,
something up.
okay, not only did you put a
Right,
guest
Nadine
character in a main event spot on another show, you literally took character development away from the characters that were in their own show. For example, right? We could have seen more of Cad Bane and everything of that. Hell, we could have even gotten Hondo from the Clone Wars into that series because they were talking about a lot of these seedy government stuffs and pirates and things like that. Right. But instead, we got 2.5 episodes of the Mandalorian's journey that took away from the book of Boba.
Would you have
Fett.
bothered to watch Boba Fett otherwise? No,
Yes,
the whole
yes,
point is
would
to
have.
try.
Yes.
No,
Wait,
oh my
so
God,
wait,
everybody
Val-
took so much
Now-
shit about it.
Val, unfortunately, that's
So
where
hold
you
on,
gotta
there's so
lose
many
me on.
people who has not bothered to watch Boba Fett because of it. Had they
But
known Mandalorian was in it, they would have watched.
But Val,
took-
you and I went to see Morbius.
Oh, I would have seen it. I would have seen it. I'm not
You know what I'm
saying.
saying? And I don't
watch
regret.
it
I regret
regardless.
nothing.
The
I regret
Uber
nothing.
fans would have watched it regardless, right?
That's right.
However,
We were still gonna watch Book of Boba. I did
Yes.
not need Mando and Grogu to show up, and Mando and Grogu showing up was not the reason why I was watching Book of
No.
Boba. I was watching
But
Book
the
of Boba.
Mandalorian
Oh no,
fans,
hold on. I was watching Book of Boba was because of how Boba showed the fuck up in season 2, and that's what I was expecting in the Book of Boba, which
Yeah.
I did not get.
Yeah.
And that was my concern. And that's the reason why Mando showing up are the best episodes of Boba's show.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But
I
Boba
agree.
showing up in season 2 with the knee cannons and the slave one and him being a badass, I was like, I'm fucking here for this man's show.
Right.
You know what I
But
need?
it- Sorry,
what I
just super
need-
fast. Let me
Go ahead, Mike.
go ahead. Go. All right, I'll go. So the basically my only thing with it is the people that don't know are there for the woo woo woo, right? But they just want to see Boba Fett or Mandalorian, whoever. They want to see the giant laser fights with the things and the stuff that they don't know the backstory on. The people that do know, the people that and those people aren't going to notice that, oh, he's got a new ship now. He didn't have the same ship before, because if they knew that much, they would have cared and they would have watched the other stuff, right? They don't care. Like, they just want the woo woo woo. But there's substance in it for people that go through it and watch the whole thing. And super last thing, yes, 2 episodes did get taken up by The Mandalorian, and I will stand on this hill. Nothing of value was lost.
All right, so this is how I think you fix it, right? Disney Plus needs to do this. At the end of season 2 of Mandalorian, they should put a thing at the bottom that says, Grogu returns in the Book of Boba Fett episode 5.
Yes.
You click on that shit, and then you see the end of it. Now go see season 3, and you're caught up. Like,
Just
that's
put
all
those
you need to do.
episodes. Just put those episodes right there at the end of season 2.
In the autoplay, it'll go
In the autoplay,
season 2,
goes like that.
season 2, episode 8 to season 1 of Book of Boba, episode
That's it.
5.
That's
It'll be
it.
like, what?
Well, while you're at it, I think that's actually a great idea.
Actually-
I don't know if Disney does it, but I think that would be a great idea. Like, if you're
They-
watching a Marvel,
They do.
if
they
you're
do
watching a Marvel
kinda,
movie,
yeah,
after the
like-
movie goes off, if it suggests to you
So
Yes.
what's next
It
in the
does.
order.
It does.
Mhm.
They have a chronological order and they have in release
So they
order.
need to do that.
And they also have specific things based on, like, if you just wanted to watch episodes on just Ashoka, they have specific episodes of just the Bo-Katan. So you can actually, they've been filtering out specific things of what's pertinent to what's popular right now. And I think they do an amazing job with that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a way to go back and see those specific episodes for those disgruntled Mando fans who feel away a little bit.
Damn, tell me how you feel.
That was well said, and I couldn't have said it better myself because Chris Pratt is a great guy. Like, he is, ladies and gentlemen,
I don't
I was
understand
just about
the
to leave.
segue. I love Chris Pratt. I love Chris Pratt. I think he is so great.
Can I ask a hard hitting question to everybody?
Oh,
This is a hard hitting because I think about this randomly all the time, right? And since this is a shoot the shit episode, I lose respect for people who enjoy refried Oreos. Refried Oreos are disgusting. Why would you eat a snack food that's refried?
Okay, you're
Why would you fry it the first time?
You mean refried or fried Oreos?
No, refried. What, is it fried Oreos?
What?
Or
It's
fried Oreos.
Wait,
Man,
what are
Charlie.
Oreos?
You can
Wait,
say no,
hold
you
up.
cannot, Charlie.
First
of all, why are
you
you
take
hating
the
on fried
Oreo,
Oreos?
You take the Oreo, you put it in batter, and you put it in hot fucking oil.
And all right, fine. It's not refried. I made a mistake. All right.
No,
Yeah,
that's
so I'm a
refried
human being.
beans.
All right?
Yeah.
You don't have to slap me like I'm Chris Rock. Anyway,
What are we
Oh.
talking about?
fried
I don't
Oreos
know.
here.
It's Charlie.
Fried
We gotta
Oreos here.
stop him right now.
We
Like,
gotta
why?
stop it. He must be stopped.
He must be stopped.
I'm just saying.
He can't be
fried
stopped
Oreos-
like Jaden's
Mandalorian
friend.
here.
Why is fried Oreos?
So as we're ignoring
Oh,
Charles,
did you watch this week's Ted Lasso?
No, I haven't seen it
Oh,
yet.
this week, like today's episode?
I haven't seen it
No,
yet
I haven't
either.
seen today's,
Sorry.
but I
mean
saw
last week.
episode.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm watching Ted
Yes.
Lasso episode 3 after the show's over. I'm
Oh
going
yeah,
to
I'm
bed.
done. Antonio
That
watched
comes out on
it.
Tuesdays? It comes out on
Yes.
Tuesdays?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
My friend says that shrinking, because I know they're advertising it heavy after Ted Lasso, that
Charlie,
the
it's
shrinking
good.
is really, really good. I hear.
It's good. It's
Oh,
a good
okay.
flick. It's a good
It
show.
is definitely a state fair thing.
Disgusting.
Charlie.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
even
yes.
understand.
That's right. Free
Totally
fried
changing
Oreos.
the subject with the freaking fried Oreos.
You ever had fried
Oh,
ice
that's
cream?
great.
That shit's good.
Oh yeah, that's
What-
good too. Fried ice cream.
Wait, what? Fried ice? What?
You
What?
take
fried
you take a ball of ice cream.
ice cream.
You take a ball of ice cream, you throw it in batter, and it's really thin, and you throw it and you flash fry it in a fryer. The thin layer gets fried and crunchy. You take it out. The inside's still cold. Because remember, when you're frying something, it cooks from the outside in.
You don't cook. You don't keep it in there, obviously.
Yeah, I'm all about that. Yeah, I'm all about that fried shit. Let's
I
listen.
feel
It's all
like
good.
this is all American dishes.
No, a
That-
baked,
this
Ala-
is-
a
this is
baked
American
Alaska
stuff.
is like a. It's why do I know?
Fried
Yeah, why
ice
do you
cream.
know?
Fried Oreos.
Okay, fried ice cream is amazing. I had it at
Of course
a
you would
Mexican
say it.
spot
Of course you
with
would say it.
churros. It was
No,
amazing.
fried ice cream's good. And a baked
What's a
Alaska,
baked-
it's like multiple layers of ice cream put together. and then
I don't even know
you
who
have
you
a
guys
cream on
are.
top, and then you heat up that cream that's on top, and that's
I
when
have
you get
no
that
idea
baked
what's
part.
happening now.
We're talking about
We're,
food.
we're,
That's
we're
it.
being
Talking about
badasses
food.
right now.
I was just
Fatties.
here for the Chris
Well,
Pratt.
so
yeah.
I brought
Oh,
up
yeah,
fried
we're
We're here for the
Oreos.
Chris Pratt dunking.
I think-
I brought up fried Oreos because I felt like on a show with nerds and geeks, we are excluding certain audience members, and I think we should talk about all topics. Because foodies are geeks too. Foodies are geeks, even though I think that if you eat fried Oreos, you are like demonic or evil or whatever.
I don't understand why do you hate
why?
the fried Oreo?
Why? Yeah.
Why do you hate Chris Pratt?
I don't hate Chris.
Oh,
we don't
Pratt.
hate
oh,
Chris
That's
Pratt.
wrong.
We just
Why
think
do
he's
you
horrible as
why do you
Mario.
hate Ben Affleck's Daredevil? Why do you hate The Dark World?
That movie is trash.
Okay, well, fried Oreos are trash.
Have you ever had a
Oreo?
fried Oreo?
I've had, and as a diabetic, it nearly killed me.
Well,
I
as
know
a
you gotta take your
That
pills.
makes
as a
sense.
Oh, as a
diabetic,
diabetic, you
Not
shouldn't be
enough-
eating this shit.
Not
should've been
enough. Not
you
enough.
should have
insight
been
on metaphor
you
in
should
this
have been
world.
around it, because if you say I'm a diabetic and then
you
someone offers you a fried Oreo, be like, you might as well offer me a death
No,
certificate.
so the way it got offered to me, is this is how it got offered to me. I'm somewhere, you know, as a
are we
big boy,
doing right now?
you know, I like a snack. I like
It's
I like-
food.
as a-
That's it. It's run off the wheels. That's it. I
That's-
got to reel
that's
it back
real.
in.
This is how this guy handed off to me, right? As a big boy, I like
Fried
my
butter?
snacks. You know, I'm a foodie. I'm like yum 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 yum. You know, so somebody was like, "Yo, you want an Oreo?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll take an Oreo." And they handed it to me. I looked at it.
It was
but
brown and crunchy.
The foodie in me wasn't like didn't bother to ask questions. The foodie in me was like, "Yo, snack, meow." So I bit it, and I was like, "What is this disgusting, sugary, slightly good, but terrible for my life snack?" And they was like, "This is a fried Oreo." And I was like, "Wait a minute." So somebody took time to fry an Oreo.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm gonna call 911 because you nearly killed me. And that's why I think
Question, Charles, do you eat Zeppelis?
Do I eat Zeppelis? Is that a
Zeppelis
Drake
is
stick?
great.
Is that a Drake snack? Or is that a Little Debbie snack? Is that a Hostess snack? What are we
It's an
talking here?
Italian snack. It's fried dough in powdered sugar.
So
All right,
that
speaking of Italian snacks, I don't know what has to do with it. Have a good one. I will see you guys. I'll see you guys another week. I was just here for the Chris Pratt stuff. Have a good one.
So yeah, I think it is about that hour. So before we run off the rails again, and then Charlie, I'll tell you about there's a whole spot that does whole fried everything Twinkies and all that. No, this has been fun. I mean, I want you guys to plug away what you guys are doing. So we'll start with you, George, because I know you're laughing hard over it in the background. So George, give us what you're doing, upcoming projects and everything.
So definitely go to getyourmeds.com. That's my website. That you'll see everything on there. Follow me on Instagram at get_your_meds with a Z. And check out the show on Tuesday nights, Catch the Craze, where we interview independent artists and we talk about their journey as creators. And make sure you do that. Check that out. And then I have news coming out that I'm going to definitely announce later on about the channel that I'm starting. And I'll give you guys more information as that comes closer.
Cool.
Charlie, Sean, plug away.
You go first, Charles.
All right. As always, you can check us out at sketchfedstudios.com as well as on our Instagram and I think Twitter, I believe. We just started doing a TikTok, but that's mostly just posting like behind the scenes BTS stuff. We are working on short film projects, especially with the EVR universe, the Edward V. Red that was mentioned earlier. Last month, we released a short which is also within that universe. So head over to Sketchfed Studios YouTube to check that out. I'm always looking for feedback as a young indie filmmaker who's looking to get into it. Other than that, the G for Geek will be back next month officially. So if you like the banter, if you like the silliness, you'll be able to see more of the sexy Latin lover Sean Luke and me, the exploitative Charlie Radio Williams. And I think that's it, right?
Yep. In addition to that, while we talk about G is for Geek, make sure you guys check out the Geektopians on YouTube as well, which is also another Sketchfed Studios produced production. But also check out the Goth and the Geek on our Twitch stream. Like I said, we just started. We're going to be doing different games during different times while we're doing different events and stuff like that. We're going to try and do certain things. Like, for example, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is coming out. So we're going to see if we can do Guardians of the Galaxy stream. We'll try and figure that out, right? But we're gonna just keep producing stuff, and I want to thank Sketchfed for sponsoring us, giving us the equipment and things like that. And like I said over there, the production manager over there, I've known him for a long time, so he's been doing great work, right? But definitely go ahead.
Val, what you guys got on TV?
You always ask when I don't have a topic to share. When I do, it doesn't get brought up. I have no idea this week, but watch it anyway. Hugo comes by, Relis comes by. I appreciate the love that you guys show. TV Saturdays between 6 to 8 Eastern time. That's T.E.A.V. On YouTube Live. Yeah.
Also, listen on, you guys are kicking ass over there. I got to join you guys.
You haven't even watched.
I've seen you guys go on Instagram Live.
Just
haven't joined the conversation. I will be there. Don't worry.
See the support I get? You see that? Mm-hmm.
Listen, I give the shout out. I shared links and everything. What you talking about? But no, I'm happy to report that Concrete Combat Chapter 2, Part 2 is almost officially done. All you have to do is the last 2 renderings, and then it's off to the best letterer in the industry, George the Dreamer Medina, who is going to letter that bad boy, and it will be out on my Patreon page. No, thank you, George, for helping out with that. So I can't wait to get that done. And Tone, take it away.
What I'm doing?
Yeah, we promised to have a topic next week, but yeah, what we up to, Tone?
Playing God of War Ragnarok.
There you go. Showed me that picture. Like
are you gonna play Hogwarts Legacy?
Just beat
eventually.
it.
Eventually.
Oh my god.
Eventually.
Just be replaying it now.
Yeah.
That's it.
Eventually.
No, I'm playing Ragnarok and
Star Wars Survivor.
Eventually.
Jedi Survivor.
Yeah,
because I'm always playing Destiny, so like I got to pick and choose the other auxiliary games.
Whatever.
But
I'll be trying to get Jedi Survivor because I love Fallen Order.
Fallen Order is amazing.
But God of War Ragnarok, man, it's also because I have it on the PS5 and then I've got my fucking.
Do you still have your PS5 standing?
I still have it standing. I'm gonna change it soon. I was reading about all the stuff for the horizontal stuff.
Okay.
Sebastian,
it just looks so pretty on my monitor.
This is a Puerto Rican goodbye. That's it.
Sebastian,
yeah, pretty much.
Can I say something to the camera before we leave?
You want to say something to the camera?
Wait.
Shall we do it? Shall we? Yeah, well, fuck it.
There you go.
Hey, Law.
Look at that face.
Hey, Law. Law, I try to represent as Law number 2, but the cast of people that you work with are difficult, except for George. He's awesome. And Sean, it happens, but I don't know how you do it. I respect you because you're talented. I'm a part of the Law fan club. I love you, and this has been a really hard episode without you being on it. And I just feel like you're the only member that gets me and you understand me. And Chris Pratt and For the Dark World.
He will not agree on For the Dark World.
Can you please remove him?
And we watch it, and I don't.
Hold it. You can do this. You can do this. Do this.
Hold on, let me get it together.
Hold it.
I don't know how you do it, Law. Week after week after week after week. There was some really nasty things said, like they called you the Bugle Boys, and Balor's mom, and Balor's mom Beagle, and Sean won't do the calendar, and it's just been hard with you away. And normally I don't come on the show unless you're on the show, and it really tears me up inside. But my therapist has been told me that I need to let out my emotional feelings in order to better communicate how I feel. So I'm grateful to be on the show tonight, and sorry. Turn off the camera. Don't turn it off. Turn off. Don't turn it
off.
That was a ball. Thank you guys for coming on. It's always fun with you guys. That laugh, I'm done. Anyway, this has been a fun episode of Man. This has been an off the rails episode of First Round. We'll have a topic for you guys next week. This has been your boy Sebastian.
Your boy Tom from across the hall.
And of course, last but not least, Vmac and Law. I miss you. Bye.
Miss you, brother. Be home safe. We'll see you next week. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful beat music now.
Now watch this. Watch fucking Ted Lasso.